Let you all open all your three eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasukhanam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadusham Tattvamasyaadilakshya Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Let's go through the disclaimers. Security measures. No photography, video, audio recording. Important cautions. Please be aware of the important cautions. What is spa manifestation? Let's hear from Bhagwan himself explaining what is spa manifestation.
All the 25 states of consciousness, when they happen in you due to your chemicals and hormones ups and downs, it is powerlessness. When it happens in you out of your free will and consciousness, it is powerfulness. That's all. When you fall into sleep, it is powerlessness. When you enter into sleep, it is powerfulness. When you fall into dream, it is powerlessness. When you decide to dream, it is powerfulness. So I have added the ultimate powerfulness, Turiyatita, in your whole being and doing. Manifest all the powers. Understand, power manifestation is nothing but cognitive shift. It is not work. It is cognitive shift. Understand? It is just cognitive shift. It's not work. Work is a 4-letter word. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, playing with life, playing with being alive. Static matter, dynamic activity, strategic existence, all these three has no boundary. You are one with it. You are alive in everything. Everything listens to you. Everything decides as you want. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, raising your frequency, not work.
Now let's understand who is Paramashiva. Bhagwan himself has beautifully explained the Paramashiva in all of us.
Paramashiva does manifestation, maintenance, rejuvenation, pulling out of delusion and liberation. He resides in his supreme Paramashiva Swarupa as Ajomuha or Adhomuha, unborn, beyond form, formlessness. Is Paramashiva Swarupa. That Paramashiva Swarupa manifests with these 5 faces as Sadashiva, Tatpurusha, Vamadeva, Ahora, Satyojata, Ishana. 5 faces he manifests and does the Panchakritya, Srishti, manifestation, Sthiti, sustenance, Samhara, rejuvenation, Trobhava, pulling out of delusion, Anugraha, liberation. Understand? He does all these 5 jobs. Through these 5 phases. Now listen carefully. Tatpurusham, Vamadevam, Satyojatam, Ahoram, Ishanam. These 5 phases does Panchakrityas. Each phase, each dimension is not just one F-A-C-E phase, P-H-A-S-E phase. It's not just F-A-C-E, P-H-A-S-E. Understand? The creation. Not just creation getting created. Even sustenance need to be created. Destruction need to be created. And pulling out of delusion need to be created. Liberation need to be created. Then creation, manifestation need to be maintained. Maintenance, sthiti itself need to be maintained. Destruction, samhara, the rejuvenation need to be sustained, maintained when it is happening. Pulling out of delusion, trobhava, need to be maintained when it is happening. And anugraha, liberation, need to be maintained when it is happening. Those micromilliseconds when it is happening. So understand, Satyojata Murti as 5 phase, Ishana Murti as 5 phase, Vamadeva Murti as 5 phase, Agora Murti has 5 phase, Tatpurusha Murti has 5 phase. So, Tatpurusha Murti as is 5 phase, Agora Murti has is 5 phase, Vamadeva Murti has is 5 phase, Satyojata Murti has his 5 phase, Ishana Murti has his 5 phase. All these 5 Murtis, 5 phases put together is 25 phases of Mahasadashiva.
Bhagwan beautifully explained Paramashiva. Now, who is His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam? Let's hear from Bhagavan himself. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam is a reviver of Kailasha, the ancient Enlightenment civilization, the great cosmic borderless nation. Is an avatar from and is a supreme pontiff of Hinduism. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam has made science of our manifestation, yoga, temple-based university for humanity, Sovereign Order of Kailasha, led by His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam and Nithyananda Order of Monks, Nuns, Hindu diasporas are working for global peace to give superconscious breakthrough to humanity. Nithyananda Hindu University, world's largest with extended campus in 150 countries, is collecting, organizing, preserving, time capsuling, decoding, spreading and reviving 20 million source books of Hinduism and 64 sacred arts, science like Ayurveda, music, dance, sculpting, astrology, Vastu, and many more. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam is 293rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of Shamalapita Sarvanyapita, ancient apex body of Hinduism and present emperor of Suryavamsa Surangi Swamrajyam. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam has survived the worst persecution of multiple assassination attempts on person and character by anti-Hindu elements. Beautifully, Bhagavan now explains who is His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Everything is infinitely powerful. You realize your potentiality. You establish yourself in the completion, space of completion. You are God, that's all. All of us are gods. The first experience is that I was able to see everything around me, above me, the whole 360 degree. I realized not only I was able to see, I was able to feel, experience the skin of the stone on rock on which I was sitting and the skin of this body. Both carry me equally. In both I exist equally. Sangha is a place where the tattvas are taught to you, and till it becomes satya, you are supported. Akhadas are basically founded by Sadashiva himself. All is ganas, Shiva ganas. Exactly the word gana means. In your length, breadth, depth, if you are filled by Shiva, you are Shiva gana. All the Shiva ganas formed the first Akhada. Later on, much later, Kapila Muni organizes Mahanirvani Akhada. Then all other Akhadas. As Mahamandaleshwar of Mahanirvani Akhada, the oldest apex body of Hinduism, I welcome every one of you. What I am teaching is from original Agamas Yogapada. The science very clearly declares, Sadashiva is very clear, manifestation of these powers happen when you experience oneness with Sadashiva. choose your guru, the best thing is find a person who is enlightened, experienced, who can play with energy, who can directly transmit experience to you, and who is in tune with the original Shastras, the source of the knowledge. All the revealed scriptures available about the yoga directly by Sadashiva for you to do research, study, practice, question the people who teach.
The science of power manifestation is a gift to the humanity, which is authentic, time-tested, scientific, and foolproof. Diksha, or the initiation from His Divine Holiness, Nithyananda Paramashivam, makes the science directly an experience for the initiates. The experience is directly authenticated by the Pramanas. The Shastra Pramanas, the eternal, unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures, the Veda and Agamas. The Apta Pramanas, the experience of the Rishis, Munis, Ganas, Nayanamars, Alvars, and Siddhars, who are the authority of Hinduism, who have scientists who time-tested and verified the science of power manifestation. The Atma Pramanas are the avatar who land on the planet Earth to give a superconscious breakthrough to humanity. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, this millennium's avatar, personal experience of power manifestation. Shakshi Pramanas, or the experience of the millions of disciples, devotees, and followers initiated into the science of power manifestation by Bhagavan himself. Pratyaksha Pramanas, or the scientific studies which can be measuring the effect of being in the enlightened state. And let's go to the powerful cognition from the Satsang Bhagavad Gita Decoded.
Why do you sit and watch till 3 o'clock? Because and how to keep your inner space in the blissful consciousness. Kshetranyam chabhimam viddhi sarva kshetreshu bharata kshetra kshetranya jnanam yatta jnanam matam mama. O Bharata, you should understand that I am also the knower in all bodies, and to understand this body and its knower is called knowledge. Beautiful. He makes two statements. I am the knower in all the bodies, and to understand the knower and the body is knowledge. Understanding the field and knower, understanding body, mind and the consciousness is what is knowledge. He says, I myself reside as consciousness in every being. Your consciousness is God. There is no separate thing. Your consciousness is God. The problem is, you started suddenly thinking that you are body and mind. The person who understands he is consciousness, he liberates himself, he is called liberated, enlightened. He becomes Buddha. He becomes Buddha. Consciousness is God. Actually, God plus body mind is man. Man minus body mind is God. That's all. Man minus body and mind is God. God plus body mind is man. Beautiful story about knowing the body and mind and how we miss the consciousness that we are consciousness. Whether you believe it or not, we are all consciousness. How we miss it and how we miss our life. How we miss our life and how we miss our life. There was a lioness about to give birth to a cub. She tried to attack flock of sheep, but it was too much. The jump was too big. She was not able to attack, she was not able to catch any goat. She fell on the ground and gave birth. In that shock, she gave birth to a cub and died. The flock of sheep which were there, they saw the newborn baby. They just went round. They started playing with it. They felt that we should take care of this cub. They do not know it's a lion. They just thought we should take care of this cub. They started taking care of that cub. They gave same way. They gave the goat milk and grass, and that guy also started eating. He started eating the same way, and he grew up along with the sheep. After some time, slowly problem started. It has to start. It has to start. Suddenly the mother goat started receiving the complaints. He is too arrogant, he is beating us all, he is not playing the games properly, and we are not able to play with him. And naturally he was sidelined. Nobody wants to play with him. Because if any argument comes, no argument, straight away punishment. No argument. And after few days, the lion itself started feeling that, what is this? I don't feel I am living. Is this all life? Just eating little grass and making some sound, going around, and I don't feel I am living the whole life. Whenever it sees the forest, it always had a temptation to go in and explore that forest. But the mother sheep has warned, that is the one thing which you should never do. Because the sheep was also thinking, this is one more sheep. The mother sheep was thinking, this is one more sheep. So mother has warned, that is the one thing which you can never do, which you should never do. You are not allowed to enter into the forest because lions are there. You will be killed. Understand? This whole story is how a seeker, how a man takes birth, and how he starts seeking, and how he achieves. It's a wonderful story. I love this story. Again and again I try to tell this story. Mother says, no, you cannot go there. Never go there. There will be lions. Anyhow, this fellow somehow suppresses his search or his feeling of emptiness. But after some time, he decided, I think this is not for me. This is not for me. But somehow the mother sheep managed by pressure. She did some drama, weeping, crying, convincing, and finally she got this lion married. Lion was now married. Small story. One more small story. The first experience, there will be little fear after the first experience. And after a week, the fear slowly subsided. This guy started thinking again, I think I should meet that lion once more. One part of the mind is saying, no, I am afraid, he may kill me. The other part of being is saying, no, it was a bliss, such a bliss, so beautiful, was so graceful. I think we should meet him. Please be very clear. Unless you have enlightenment within yourself, you will not feel attracted towards an enlightened person. If you feel attached If you feel connected, if you feel that you are in tune with an enlightened person, be very clear, you have enlightenment within you already. If you don't have that already within you, you will not even feel connected. If you have not grown, if you have not become mature to that level, you will not even feel connected. So there are millions of people in this city. Why only few hundred are sitting here? And not only that, there are thousands of people who have come and gone. Why only few hundred are sitting regularly? The moment you feel attracted towards this teaching, be very clear. The enlightenment which is in you has started expressing, started opening. That's the reason. The lion sheep or sheep lion feels or remembers the lion.
Beautifully, Bhagwan gave the powerful cognition. Now let's go to the Shastra Pramana. Shastra Pramana are the eternal truths, unchangeable truths from the scriptures, Veda, Agamas, and Upanishads. Here from Shiva Sutra, Sutra 1.13, Icha Shakti Ruma Kumari. Bhagavan Paramashiva says, his will is the energy of Shiva, and it is called Uma. And independent power of Paramashiva, it is called Kumari, the cosmic energy that plays. Bhagavan beautifully says how the small cub wants to reach the lion space because it knows it's a lion, but it has its own self-doubt, self-denial, self-hatred, and tries to sneak in to see the lion. Bhagavan beautifully says, if you have already recognized and you are with the satsang and you are here with the master, you are already enlightened. That is why you're getting connected to this space. There are millions who are not connected, who do not recognize the master, who do not recognize the whole purpose. That is why they are not here. The maturity in you that you understand is the reason itself tells why you are here, is because you are enlightened and you recognize the enlightenment as your very purpose. Simply you'll manifest all the powers of Paramashiva. Beautifully, how Prahlada kept telling his father that everything exists is Vishnu. His father did not understand till Hiranyakasipu broke the ego. But everything that exists is Vishnu, is what Prahlada said, and he manifested all the powers of Paramashiva just by Vishnu's name and holding that space, that other than Vishnu, there is nothing that inside him exists. Again and again, we can see how each one holds the highest remembrance of the highest reality in their inner space. Holding just that remembrance liberate them to the ultimate consciousness level. That will persistence to hold that space is what Bhagavan is beautifully describing. The will persistent, the sankalpa, conscious vision, how he said the negative are all visualized becomes reality. Even the positive which you vision will simply become reality. More and more you vision that and be very clear about what you want, then the reality happens with all the clarity. Here Bhagavan beautifully says how the lion is slowly trying to bring the integrity to the who the lion is. Once he understands and got a glimpse of himself, now he wants to perceive that the very nature of him, the very core of how who he is. That is what Bhagavan tells how the disciple, when they see the master, they are seeing nothing but a reflection of themselves, the very core of them. And more Bhagavan says he brings the love back from master to yourself and makes you understand the reality that who you are, the eternal truth, and makes you understand that you are Paramashiva and Paramashiva space state and manifest the powers of Paramashiva, becoming the Sri Kailasha of Paramashiva. The ultimate just just opens up in you once you start getting into the vicious cycle, the virtuous cycle. The virtuous cycle brings you more and more completion and more flowering of inner space, and the outer space simply reflects all the flowering. When we understand everything is our inner space, so the inner space is more important than who holds about what, who tells about what projects has to move, who has to complete the finance, who has to do the project. All that pending is because it is pending in your inner space something. If you entangle with the highest reality as your original self, all this pending and whatever you want to get fulfilled will show open up the new path and make that also as reality. Again and again, Bhagavan says how simple the path is where you recognize your higher self, the Paramashiva space in you, and more you reside in that space as your original space. You will start experiencing like breathing, it becomes the original and natural space that you don't have to remember, but you are that. He says so beautifully, just in few shana, 21 shanas, you will recognize the whole space, who you are. If you're holding that Paramashiva is your original cognition. Such beautiful, that's why he says when you're doing a puja, 3-4 minutes, visualize yourself with the 25 heads and 50 hands. All that he asks us to visualize is for this same reason, again and again, that you are Paramashiva in form, in name, in action, in word, in thought, everything. Then you become Paramashiva. With this powerful cognition, let's go to the Apta Pramana. The Apta Pramanas are the rishis who are authorities of Hinduism. Here in Valmiki Ramayana, Balakhanda, chapter 58. Trishangu wanted to reach the heaven in his immortal body. He went and asked his Kulaguru Vashishta and got refused. So he went to Vishwamitra, and Vishwamitra sent him to the Swargaloka, and they asked him to go out of Swargaloka, and simply he had to come back. He performed the great ritual for his mortal body to have the refuge in the Swargaloka. Vashishta, that he would get his desire fulfilled from someone else if they were not ready to do it for him. Trishangu became the Chandala by that. His whole appearance was cursed, and he became the Chandala. His hair and skin that changed into the Chandala, and then only he meets Vishwamitra to go in that body to the Trishangu Sorga finally. Such a beautiful story where Vishwamitra creates a loka for Trishangu king to go in the physical mortal body and reside there for him, because Swargaloka, they did not allow him to stay with the mortal body. Such a power and such possibility that each of these Apta Pramanas experienced and expressed and beautifully showed us that possibility exists in all of us. Now, Atma Pramana.
Taller than the great temples they built, larger than the great monuments they established, the character of Pramukh Swami Maharaj stands. If I can reproduce 1% of his character, I'll feel I am more successful than establishing all those number of temples. His character itself is something beyond temples. I have had the fortune of having his darshan many times. Personally, his extreme humbleness, always residing in the space of oneness with Bhagavan Swaminarayan, and the way he lived, and the way he returned to Akshardham on behalf of the Nithyananda Sangha. I myself will be personally going, and after while you don't realize, the consciousness continues to radiate through you, because the consciousness is independent of your good, bad, right, wrong, skill sets, abilities. Your consciousness is independent of your right, wrong, good, bad, and abilities. It doesn't get touched. Whether you are a drunkard or a womanizer or serial killer, whatever may be somebody's character, I put all the three in one line. All three cannot even be compared. It's all just social stigma. The social stigma based ideas. I'm not saying do all the bad things or what is not socially accepted. No. All I am telling you is none of this can touch your consciousness. None of this anyway reaches your virgin space, the pure consciousness. The manifestation of your pure consciousness is depending on only one thing, your will to manifest. That's all. It does not need any skill sets. It does not need any of the so-called right, wrong, good, bad preparations. Please understand. I wanted you to understand very clearly. If you are a serial killer, the country law will punish you. If you are a womanizer, the person with whom you committed and married, that person will question you. If that person is okay, then whole world is okay. Nothing, because Cosmos does not record. It does not have a CCTV camera to watch with whom you are sleeping every night and day and all that. It does not even record. Each of those good, bad, right, wrong is only within the frame of that dimension of life. If you steal somebody's property, that country law will punish you. If that country law does not care, or that person from whom you have stolen does not care, then it is a gift. Nobody is going to punish. Those things does not get recorded in Cosmos. Only if that person suffers, that pain gets recorded in the Cosmos, not anything else. Cosmos does not have value over mud or gold. For Cosmos, both are one and the same. Same way, if you are a womanizer, it is between you and the person with whom you shared your life. By any action, right, wrong, good, bad, nothing It is a simple will to express or not. That's all. But if you see deep down, those values, right, wrong, no way touches your consciousness. That truth I have to tell you. I cannot hide the truth from you just because I want you to have the social values. Yes, I want you to have social values as a common understanding for all our collective existence. We all need to exist together. So naturally, we will have some common understandings. Those understandings, we call it as values. But cosmically, if you see, listen to these cosmic truths. Cosmically, if you see, consciousness does not get affected by anything. It needs only one thing, your will to manifest or not. That's all.
Beautiful. Consciously deciding to manifest or not manifest the powers of will. Now, the Shakshi Pramanas are the initiated disciple devotees all around the world who are manifesting the powers. Here she says Swamiji's Murti have changed the color of his hair, his cheeks, and mala in shining gold color. So beautiful, she was able to change the color of the Swamiji Murti, manifesting the power of will to change the skin of others.
Prataksha Pramana, scientific studies what can be measured, measuring the effect of being in enlightenment state. The signs of power of will. The signs of power of will. Science say that eye color is a character determined by two distinct factors: the pigmentation of the eye's iris and the frequency dependence of the scattering of light. In humans, the pigmentation of the iris varies from light brown to black, depending on the concentration of melanin in the iris, which is determined by our DNA. The appearance of blue and green, as well as hazel eyes, result from the Tyndall scattering of light. Eye color varies depending on the lighting conditions, especially for lighter colored eyes. Epigenetics is a study of heritable changes that do not involve DNA sequence, but DNA expression alterations. DNA, methylation, histone, acetylation. These alterations are triggered by different factors such as nutrition, behavior, physical activity, working habits, smoking, and alcohol consumption. Stress meaning the very quality of our state of consciousness. Health is your nature. You don't need to create it. You just need to remember it. Then the epigenome starts to realign itself. From the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, His Divine Holiness, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam. Consciousness alters your DNA.
The epigenetics. They have done so much of research on this field, on this epigenome. Epigenome is a protein particle responsible for your genes and all the happenings based on genes. Please understand, we are always taught genes are responsible for our diseases. No, it's not true. Even your DNA is not responsible. The quality of your consciousness is responsible. The quality of consciousness can directly change DNA. Asan Church very beautifully proves even the persistent diseases handed over to you by the previous generations, like cancer, sugar, blood pressure, heart diseases, even they can be just altered, changed, transformed by the quality of your consciousness. Another research proves only 35% of your DNA is responsible, only 35%, for what you are, who you are, how you are, and all the major factors like your longevity, disease, health and everything. Only 35%. The science of epigenetics and the epigenome opens a new door to the great truths declared by Patanjali and Swatmarama. Patanjali in Raja Yoga Sutras and Swatmarama in Hatha Yoga Sutras. Shiva Sutras says very clearly, the man who is in perfect health just by his nisangalpa, means the intentionless consciousness, can transmit that to a human being or any being.
Setting up for the change of the color of the skin for others. Please explain the details for the others. Have Jnananjan ready if you have it with you. Keep the camera and the timestamp ready for recording the most beautiful moment. Take a few minutes for setting up your camera. Download the timestamp app, click on the video, ensure the timestamp is shown clearly and vividly on the screen. Make sure the camera is facing you and your partner. Please take a few minutes to set it up, the moment of the manifestation to be captured vividly and clearly. Turn on the video recording. Put the Jnananjan between your eyebrows if you have it. Visualize Swamiji and bring awareness to your eyebrows, the middle of your eyebrows. Have the partner sit in front of you. Explain to them very clearly what is going to happen. Gaze intensely at the patch of their skin without touching. Through the power of the will, change the color of the skin. You can manifest any darker or lighter shade. Verify and authentically share the video with others and listen to others' experience of power manifestation of changing the color. Power manifestation instructions. Let's sit straight, the head, neck and back in a straight line, so that beautifully the Kundalini energy raises to the Agnya where the manifestation happens. Usually our awareness is on Muladhara, Swadhisthana and Manipuraha, where navel center, your below navel center. Here, bringing the awareness to your third eye and sitting straight will give us amazing possibility of power manifestation. Now let's understand few words that Bhagavan is repeatedly using. Shaktipada, oneness, be unclutched, initiation. So here first we will see in Bhagavan's words what is Shaktipada.
Let me give an introduction about what is Shaktipada process. Please understand. You would have seen or heard about how the chicken sits on the egg and hatches. Of course, in the modern countries, this does not happen. Machine sits on the egg and our egg sits on the machine. In those days, originally when hens and chicken were getting produced on the planet Earth, the hen used to sit on the chicken and hen used to sit on the egg and the chicken will come out of the egg. See, same way, Sadashiva sitting means the ultimate cosmic energy sitting on the individual soul and making the individual soul into cosmic energy is Shaktipada. Hence, sitting on the egg and making the chicken happen, same way. You may think, how come, what is going on here? That hen is only sitting just by the body heat of the hen, the egg is becoming chicken. Because no surgery is done and nothing goes inside. It's only sitting. Same way, it is just sitting. It's only the presence, the Shaktipada, makes the individual soul into cosmic soul.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explained Shaktipada, how individual soul becomes cosmic soul. And let's listen to initiation.
You see, let me explain the initiation. Initiation is the process beyond your intellectual understanding. The transmission of lamp happens. Now, you understood something intellectually. There is something which is not understood, which can't be transmitted through the words. That is transmitted. That's what we call initiation. Sometimes I tell people that unless you are initiated, the techniques do not create the result. The reason is you do not grasp completely whatever is expressed through words. Initiation is like it just transmits whatever need to be transmitted beyond logic and beyond words. People ask me why to wear this bracelet or this mala and all those things. This all will remind you. Why bracelet in the hand? It will remind you, before eating, did you meditate? It's a constant reminder. Before eating, let you be reminded, did you do the meditation? That is why this bracelet. That is why this mala. That is why this external things. Sometimes these external things does a big job of reminding you constantly. That is why take the help of external things also, nothing wrong. People ask me, why we can just be spiritual without having external things? If you can, really you are welcome. But I don't think anybody who speaks in that way is successful. I've never seen people becoming successful avoiding the external things, just having internal things. And it is just nice way of escaping from yourself.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explained initiation. Let's listen to be unclutched. What is to be unclutched?
The thoughts, every thought is independent, illogical, unconnected, and unclutched. Because the gap between two thoughts is too small. The neutral space between the two thoughts is too small. You think all the thoughts are connected and it is in the shape form. It is not. By your very nature, every thought is independent, illogical, unconnected, and unclutched. Between every thought, you experience a neutral space. When you change the gear, whether you go from neutral to 1 or 1 to 2 or 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 or 4 to whatever gears you may change, but every time you have to come to the neutral space. Only then you can go to the next gear. Even if you want to go from 2 to 3, you have to come to the neutral space. Only then you can go to 3. Same way, between every thought, you experience a neutral space. You experience a neutral space between every thoughts, between every thought, that neutral space, that silence is what I call peace or bliss. The peace which exists, the bliss which exists already in you, between every thought, the gap of the thought, the gap between the thoughts, that neutral space is the peace, is the bliss. When you understand, you are unconnected, independent, illogical, and unclutched by your very nature, you will start experiencing the neutral space in you, neutral space which exists in you. You will start living from moment to moment in spontaneity. We need to understand one more thing. This technique of being unclutched, it does miracles in your being, in the body level, or in the mental level, or in the being level. In every level, when you understand the truth, by your very nature, you are unclutched. The tremendous quantum transformation. You take a quantum jump, the transformation happens in quantum, not step by step. Just one jump. You take a quantum jump and experience the truth awakening in you.
The oneness space is the most beautiful space that Bhagavan himself is explaining how we are ferocious. Beyond the tiredness and boredom, we can experience the space of oneness and be unclutched.
Oneness is not imagination. Oneness is not visualization. Oneness is not even just declaration. It is your existence. An idea which is you is oneness. The idea which has become part of your very space, which does not tire you or bore you by the passage of the time, is oneness. Mahadeva says in the Agama, Sadashiva beautifully explains in the Agama, Kala, Yama cannot tire you or bring boredom to you if something becomes your space. Devi achieved the blissful state and union with Mahadeva on Shivaratri day because our space became oneness. Anything which brings tiredness or boredom has not yet become your space. If living in this body brings you tiredness and boredom, you are not going to be living in this body forever. When that becomes too much, you are going to drop it and move ahead. If you want to be in oneness forever, it should become part of your space, means you should become ferocious with you and break this very tiredness and boredom. Only when you deal you with the ferociousness, you break the tiredness and boredom. With that ferociousness, you need to make oneness as your space. Anything stands as an imagination in the length level, visualization in the breadth level, declaration in the depth level. If you open your time with ferociousness, it just sinks into space level. With this ferociousness, the time layer in you opens and the oneness From imagination to visualization to declaration, it becomes your space, the way of existence.
The most important, Bhagavan says, being unclutched, understanding the Shaktipada, the oneness space, and chanting the Mahavakya. The Mahavakya, the power of the Mahavakya, pushes you into the higher states of consciousness. Here, Bhagavan himself explains how we can experience the Shaktipada, raised higher consciousness through Mahavakya.
It's one of the very important revelation by Sadashiva. All the electronic equipments work when the electrons are made to vibrate. That happens by the light. When the electricity is supplied, the light particle vibrates, the electronic equipment starts working. Just like that, the spiritual power and the umbilical cord connection, spiritual umbilical cord connection between you and me, it works with sound particle. For example, my integrity with the cosmos, Sadashiva, Mahasadashiva, it reverberates in certain level of frequency. When you are integrated to me, you also start reverberating in the same frequency. If your integrity goes down, that is when you start connecting with me only as a manager or this organization head or your Purvashram father, mother. Your connection with me goes down to the lower level if the integrity gets reduced. I was wondering, what is the way we can bring people to the higher integrity immediately and the feeling connection, so they start manifesting the powers, they start staying in the space of Sadashivatva. Sadashiva revealed a beautiful sound. I can tell you, this is like a password. At any point, if you are not able to bring yourself to oneness, you are a little shaken, disturbed, or for some reason, you are not able to bring yourself to oneness. This is like a password. You type, whether your mind feels connected or not, the energy will start flowing in you beyond the depth dimension. You see, all mind oscillation, restlessness, all mental idea based feeling connected or not feeling connected is only length, breadth, depth level, not in the space level. But this sound will straight infuse energy from the space level. Like for example, if the power goes off, automatically the generator will get switched on and the power supply will be going on. So end result will not be lost. Whether government power supply or the generator power supply, end result will not be stopped. So whenever you feel little that oneness is, you are not catching it, just feed this password. Immediately the oneness will open up and you will start manifesting the powers, energy, and the whole space will shift. It is directly from Sadashiva. It's a beautiful sound. I don't even want to say it's a mantra. It is not even a mantra because there is no meaning in it. You can't derive a meaning for it. It just flashed like a password for all the initiations I am giving. One single password for all the initiations I am giving. And the initiations I gave, I am giving, I will be giving for all that. This is like one password. Don't even repeat like a mantra. Just feed like a password and it will just open up. Your whole being will open up. Listen carefully. It starts with the vibration Om. Listen and then repeat. Om. Very deep. Om. Nithyananda. Nithyananda. Maha Sadashivoham.
So Bhagavan gave beautiful explanation of how you can be in Shaktipada. Visualize Paramashiva who has come down as Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam from Kailasha. Remembering Paramashiva in your third eye, again and again, bringing your awareness to your third eye simply makes you manifest powers. Absolute unclutching. How Bhagavan said, the neutral zone, nothing ever touches the screen. Like same way, the movie does not touch the screen, whether it is happening in ferocious or any soft, beautiful, nothing touches the screen. Be unclutched like the screen. And to experience the state of Paramashiva, your inner space being completely unclutched. Complete completion to experience the space of Paramashiva. Inside us, the complete completion happens when we are in tune with Paramashiva. That everything is redundant and irrelevant. The essence of completion is irrelevant. Nothing matters in your life because everything is complete completion. Oneness with Paramashiva. How Bhagavan said, in ferocious breaking the boredom and tiredness, just being in the space of oneness with Paramashiva to manifest the powers of Paramashiva. Tyaga as Paramashiva is your only strength, now declaring complete integrity with Bhagavan to experience the being of Paramashiva. How Bhagavan said, chanting the Mahavakya raises your frequency, and that is your only strength to manifest any reality. Being in this beautiful space of Paramashiva, you can experience such a beautiful space, state, powers, and becoming the being of Paramashiva, manifesting whatever you want. Now, you will be manifesting the powers, watching the oneness capsule, and chanting the Mahavakya, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. We'll be playing the Mahavakya and the oneness capsule for you to manifest powers. At end of the Mahavakya, you can start with the verification and sharing and causing. Thank you.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third activities. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third activities. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Verification process for the change of the color of the skin. Verify no video editing is done on Shakshi Pramana. Make sure the video is not stopped and restarted during the process. All the videos should have the timestamp in all the screens. All videos should have the wide angle view of covering your partner, yourself, and the portion which is getting changed. Make sure there is no other material used before the manifestation to change the color. Have a very clear before and after photo of the patch of the skin. Make sure your place where you're recording is very well bright and lit, and make sure not use any digital modification apps like Adobe to lighten or darken the features. Thank you for participating in the power of changing the color of the skin for others. We are at the end of the power manifestation, but most important part of the power manifestation. Here, we are going to share all that you have manifested with the social media groups. Here we have Sri Kailasha Kotyar Manifesting Power Groups. Thousands of people are part of that. And you can share there and you can post your powerful cognition and the videos. The link is tinyurl.com/power manifestation. It is at the left corner of the page. You can click on it and you can post your beautiful experience in the power manifestation group. Why sharing and causing is very important part of power manifestation. Bhagavan beautifully explains that sharing is pulling us out of delusion and causing is liberating us. We are the ones who need to start experiencing the higher states of reality, how we need to exist. Beautifully, Bhagavan explains when you are sharing with others the ultimate beautiful multidimensional logic, your brain rewires into the higher space of consciousness, the Turyatita state. Again and again, when you experience even a little bit, you share with the world, your experience becomes reality. Same thing when you cause others to come and get initiated for higher reality, you are caused into the higher purpose, the ultimate reality. Bhagavan says extreme causing, extreme power manifestation is extreme causing. So beautifully he explains how our strength is declared on Paramashiva. The power manifestation happens exactly in tune to that. And sharing with the world, continuously reiterating ourselves the experience that we had from the powerful cognition and manifesting the space of Paramashiva, the state of Paramashiva, the beings of Paramashiva, we become Paramashiva. Go on sharing and causing, which is the most important part of how you have experienced your reality. When you go to a temple, we pray and we see that beautiful experience happen in us, and then share with the world that how amazing the temple experience has manifested as your reality. Same way, when you manifest powers, when you share with the world, it becomes more and more the depth cognition of you, and you will be experiencing more powers. Even if you're manifested very small, it does not matter the quantity. Bhagavan says the quality is important. If it is authentic, please go ahead and share with the world. Do not doubt, have self-doubt, self-denial, self-hatred come and block anything. Experience the ultimate in deep seeking and gratitude. Bhagavan manifest in you with a deep prayer, that asking Bhagavan to make this reality as your existential reality. With that, let's end with the Purna Mantra, thanking Bhagavan for all these great experience. We have come to the end of the power manifestation course, and we end with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamadashyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavate Sri Nithyananda Parameshivam Padaka Arpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you for participating in the Jnana Paddhati, Nithyananda Jnana Paddhati course. Please go ahead and select more power manifestation and every day experience the ultimate reality for yourself. Nithyananda.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham